everybody, and welcome back to the Larps and Tarps podcast, led by your good old Uncle Nietzsche tonight. Tristan's been shouting glory too much, so he asked me to do the introduction.
How's everyone doing?
I'm not bad. 3 weeks to LARP.
3 weeks. Well, when you're listening to this, it'll be 1 week to LARP.
Oh, we're revealing the time machine. It's all fake.
Don't let them know about the timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be like 9 months till LARP for me. I'm not going to E2 next year.
You can make such awesome costume in the meantime.
That is good downtime. You could do lots of artisan-y runes and things.
Yeah.
Emma will do everything in the last week.
Will you be joining?
Yeah.
I'll do everything but that.
Yeah.
Will you be joining Morgan for the player event in March?
No.
Oh, you're really...
I know a couple of players who are going. But even if I wasn't, it'd be fine. Whatever, you know.
Just you in a campfield dressed as Tristan's like, I'm still cool.
I don't know if people.
I wish I had half that audacity.
Just fucking rolling in. Should be really good. Glorious affair. It'll be a glorious affair.
So, Sunday, wrapping it up, E3.
Yeah. So we all woke up a bit. I had my first lion of the weekend.
You had a lion in your tent?
A lion.
That is not true.
I lay until like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, my idea of a lion is completely different.
I lay until 8 o'clock.
To be fair, my idea of a lion is 8 o'clock as well.
You mad bastard.
Yeah, he was up till like 3 in the morning or something stupid.
Baby. Oh yeah, I've been up discussing LARPy business all night. It was very exciting.
Nice and well rested then.
Oh yeah, ready to go fight for the Jotun.
Yeah, me and Kerry wimped out and went to bed at 12.
Cowards.
It was raining.
We were in a tent. It's fine.
Yeah, we weren't.
I went to bed about 1:30, I think.
Yeah, you slinked off with Emrys about 1:30, I think. Was after...
That sounds so suggestive. Can I just
It
say?
was actually.
I did not slink off with anybody.
It was
Scandal.
I think it was before one, wasn't it? Because did you see
Yeah.
that orc take her face off?
No.
Yeah,
So I think it was...
So whose face did the orc take off?
It was...
To clarify.
No, it was time out, and there was an orc sitting in the tent, and she went ripped the mask off, went, sorry, I love you guys, but I cannot wear that mask anymore. I'm still in character, I'm just not wearing that.
I mean, I have to give props to all orc players out
Yeah.
there. You're
Yeah.
mad people, but you put in the craft.
I would love to do it, but I don't think I could. I'm already too hot. Just in the freeborn attire, and that's
Just
pretty...
existing.
That's designed for those kind of climates.
But yeah, so you guys were all a bit more well rested than me, but nonetheless.
You just live on pure adrenaline
Yeah,
all
and then
weekend.
Monday I just crash.
Yeah.
Like
why-
I'm just like wired, and then
Like,
That's why
you
you
don't
went-
eat properly, you don't sleep properly.
Which is
and
worrying
then-
considering you're our driver for the way
Yeah, I was
home.
going to say, this is why you had that much
Yeah,
caffeine on the
maybe
way
I
should
home.
be feeling this.
You were constant.
I just constantly
Energy
energy
drinks.
drinks, just like keep going. Don't tell how tired you are. Don't tell me you fell asleep for 5 minutes on the motorway. It's fine. Just
No, you didn't.
Oh, I thought we
Don't
were
say
swerving
that.
a fair bit.
We got woken up by farm machinery on a Sunday
Sunday.
morning.
Oh.
So me and our tent neighbour, Magpie, lovely chap, were just talking and having a lovely conversation about tents, joking that the curse of Anvil had been brought down upon us. Lorenzo's box unleashed the curse of Robo Kikabeo. Going around.
I don't know what curse that would be.
I don't know. Have you ever seen a kaiju movie or a Transformers film?
Except just a very attractive woman. I have
In
to
a
assume.
robot suit.
Oh god.
Just think Michael Bay's there directing Anvil the movie.
It did sound very maniacal.
Yeah. Because I can't remember what I did in the morning. What did I do? Just wandered around
Just
till
got ready to
orc
be an
times.
orc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to wear my fancy orc mask.
How did it feel not wearing a second-hand orc mask?
I've never worn a mask. This is the first time I wore a
Really?
mask.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Because COVID, they don't give them out anymore.
They
do
give some out, but only on one day. And then they give out less on the second day, I think.
Did I wear a mask? Yeah, I did wear a mask
You did,
at
'cause
E2.
you saw me
I've
buy
worn
some
an
of
orc mask each time.
So I managed to get my own mask up, and I was looking for the emu. So for those of you that don't know, so we've spoken about monstering, but when you monster, you have the option for joining an emu, which stands for Elite Military Unit. And
We're just that good.
Yeah, exactly.
I was really hoping you were going to explain emu because you just kept saying emu to me when
Oh,
we
it's the-
were at Empire, and I was just like, emu. What?
Yeah, there's so
Bird?
much I don't know that I just know.
You've not
Yeah.
you've not seen the emu farm at the back. There's a huge emu cavalry charge with orcs riding them on the back.
Oh
It's
my God,
brilliant
Maybe
to
that's
see.
what the noise
Amazing.
was then.
Maybe instead of horses, we start using emus.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. A Pelennor Fields with emus.
But it was good. So we kind of there's a Facebook group for the emu for Dawn,
There's one for the league as well.
and I kind of said I want to join. I'm hoping to get masked before the time I arrive, and we were told to meet at I think it was House Castellan. So the brief is kind of like red.
Yeah, the Jotun
The
breed.
Jotun wear red, and then there's like other bits you can add to your kit, which I'm not kind of at yet. I saw a few like fake rabbit furs and stuff that I want to start clipping to my belt because that looks a bit Jotun-y as well.
I think you should go to the pet shop in Harrogate. It's got like
Oh my gosh.
it's got deer legs you can buy.
Oh,
my
yeah, that would
God.
actually.
Bronte would be trotting off with a podcast dog.
I'm just picturing me charging, not holding a weapon, but just waving deer legs at people.
But yeah, and then so I got there and they had loads of red cloth that I could use. So I had nothing red, but I stole something red. Borrowed something red from James, who plays Roderick / Jean. And
Roderick's dead now.
sorry,
There is only Jean.
It's hard to let go.
It's only Jean.
He was the most handsome man in Empire, and now he's been replaced by the new most handsome man in Empire.
Are we doing awards?
Awards, most handsome man in Empire. 2 characters running. And then but when I got there, there were loads of free red cloth anyway, and I've got a massive golden sun on my shield, and I was like, maybe I should cover that. So I got some red cloth, wrapped it around, and I didn't wear my orc mask until literally 5 minutes before we actually ran into people. I kept off the whole time. But it felt really cool. I had like my black shirt, I had my chainmail, belt, bit of red, orc mask. I wish I had a picture of it.
Did you put your chainmail on? Did you say?
Yeah, I want a chainmail because I wanted to be heavy.
I don't know if I've mentioned this in another episode, but you tried on your orc mask, didn't you, in the tent? And they're so convincing. I felt like there was a stranger in the tent. It was quite horrifying.
Violating.
I was like, please take that mask off. This is no good.
I love it. Maybe I should just post a picture to the Facebook page.
You should do.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
But yeah, so I got. What about you?
It was kind of the same thing, except I didn't have my own mask. Went to the centre of the league. We have our own EMU. It was Jotun. The person who runs it, I think he's really into running it. Like, he's made all these banners by himself. We had little sashes, little sigils, bits and pieces like that. We could really make ourselves look distinct. Luckily, my Gambeson is black with a red trim, so absolutely perfect for Jotun. Looking at the weapons brief, though, they're like, okay, it's either 2 swords or like ambi spears or axes as your great weapons. And like,
No.
halberd, probably not in Jotun. So I trundled back and
That's
got
a
my
shame.
sword. And it's like,
Aww.
you know what? Fuck it. Get your halberd. I didn't get the what was it, cleave or impale, which was
Yeah.
sad. So I just got the pokey thing. But I was like, okay, at least I get to use my halberd.
Yeah.
And I think, no spoilers for this battle, a halberd is a lot more useful than ambi, considering it descended into a lot of
Depends
line
on the
fighting.
circumstance, but yeah.
What's an ambi?
Ambidextrous, you can wield a weapon in each hand.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Chloe's going to go ambi, I think.
Yeah, Chloe's ambi. Robin from Having to Roll is. I just don't think I have the courage to do that.
We've seen each other try and do a HEMA with 1 sword,
Yeah,
never mind
no,
2
it's
weapons.
Unpleasant. Yeah, so then what were you doing? So whilst we were getting kitted up and getting ready to go, what were you 2 up to? Can you remember?
I'm not actually sure.
Well, I don't know what we were doing at that exact moment, but we definitely went around and did a bit of shopping. Bumped into some people we knew and was told about an auction, which I bookmarked to go to later on in the afternoon. You got something from the shops, didn't you?
Yeah, I got like a little pouch that had been like
A little festival kit, wasn't it?
yeah, it was like made out of
yeah,
it was like
I
a
saw that.
tapestry. Yeah, it had like everything you need for a festival, but I just wanted the tapestry pouch, so I used that for my iridescent clothing. But obviously, I kept the festival stuff that
Just
come in handy.
just occurred to me. Don't know where this has come from, but I don't know if the Imperial Orcs hold an auction, but you definitely should.
An
And you
auction.
should call it the auction. So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Trademark by Emma.
Because I
Really random.
know it's just because you said
he was
auction. And I was
definitely
like,
listening to.
I was listening, but then you said auction. And I was like, auction. Auction, yes.
But is that slavery? Oh, we're selling orcs again.
No.
Depends
Tom.
if you
Kristen,
ask.
you-
Depends if you had asked Dad Orc at the Boar's Head.
Dad Orc.
No, Dad Orc, Dad Navarre. Whatever
Yeah.
it's called. So then, yeah, you did that. Is there anything else you did in the morning? Anything else you want to say before we talk about the battle?
We talked to the genius crossword man, didn't we?
Yes, one of my friends gave us some pretty good tips for the crossword.
It's a cryptic one, right?
Yes, so
Yeah.
I think I mentioned in a previous episode, but actually it was the Sunday that
Yeah.
happened. And so we were able to get some of that done. I was keeping hold of both yours and Mr. Salt's goodies whilst you were in battle.
Did they pay you?
Now,
This is before time
I've
in.
decided that it's part of our contract.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not actually going to be doing cleaning, but I've decided that stuff like that can just be like I was saying to Tom actually, I want to write like an in-game sort of contract for Lupita and Nietzsche because Lupita and him would have a contract, and it would be just easy to have like an idea of what we can say that I'm doing because of this agreement, as opposed to having to like come up with like, oh, okay, so yeah, you're gonna have to pay me if I hold on to your tankard for.
I think it would be so
couple
funny
hours.
for you to have this contract, and then when Tom asks you to do something, you go, actually, I think you'll find
Yes.
part of your contract that in subclause section C,
That's perfect.
that is not included.
I love
Perfect.
how other players with their partners say, we're probably going to get married in character. No, Lupita's my housekeeper.
Yeah. It's going to be quite a strict contract, and I feel like I'm going to get as much out of this as I possibly can. So we need to figure out the
Too right.
arrangements.
If you're listening to this, Godric, I think this is the true love story you should be pursuing. The love between a slob and his housekeeper.
It's like Love Actually, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not sure.
You're Hugh Grant, you're
No, not Hugh Grant.
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth also
I mean,
married.
to be fair, very similar dynamics.
It's
Yeah, I was
alright.
gonna
He's
say.
Hugh Grant and I'm Colin Firth, but actually it's Bridget Jones and we're about to punch each other.
Pretty much sums up our real life relationship too.
So funny. Oh dear. But yeah, so you did your crossword, had a nice chill morning. Once again, absolute like juxtaposed to like us on the field. It just struggles to
exactly.
compute.
I love the idea of this game that even when most people are on the battle, there is still quite a few keeping the empire going.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
still...
Oh yeah, there's still plenty going on. Like, you don't really notice that many people are gone. Really, there's still a lot going
in
on.
E1, it was really noticeable.
Oh yeah.
Like when everyone was in battle, I really noticed it, but I didn't this time.
To be fair though, there was a lot more children this time, which is one thing we
Yeah.
noticed. But then it is the summer holidays,
Yeah.
so there was probably a lot more just families floating about.
Yeah.
That probably was one of the main reasons.
Yeah, that probably made the difference. Yeah.
I really think you two should at some point try monstering, but like doing medical stuff.
I do really. No, I just want to do monsters.
If you want to fight, yeah,
I wanna-
awesome. But I just mean because it's like if you don't want to fight, it's fun to like get involved and be there. And
To
then
be
not
fair,
have to-
at one point,
getting smacked.
when we were getting set up, I think it actually was a Saturday morning or something, but me and Jack did a bit of sparring and he was showing me how to use the
Oh yeah.
the swords and things, and I actually had a lot of fun doing
Do
a bit
it.
of sparring.
Come on the battlefield.
But
Do it.
Lupita's too squish.
Yeah, but
And
don't,
also, I'm an alchemist. It makes no sense for me to go on the battlefield.
don't go as Lupita, go monstering, because you can
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
throw
yeah.
yourself into
Come
I'll
on,
happily
sorry.
go monstering. I kind of want my own orc mask, especially after seeing yours.
Yeah.
It looks
dude.
so cool.
I mean, if we were ever to monster on separate dates, you're more than welcome to. Same with you. You're
Thank
more
you.
welcome to borrow it.
Fair.
If you're okay with having my sweaty face.
But then does that because you know how this
Just a warning: Morgan does get very sweaty.
I also get very
Oh,
sweaty.
I was gonna sterilise it and wipe it
Oh.
down
Yeah,
between
like
you.
maybe get some like.
Oh no, I was going to
Exactly.
combine the family sweat pool.
Oh,
Tom
yeah,
was gonna lick
absolutely.
it. No. But with that, you know how we talked about how if you do fighting for your nation, then you have to do monstering. Otherwise, the balance is So if
Yeah.
you just do monstering,
I reckon because some people don't show up for monstering, I don't reckon it make much of a difference.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I reckon it would kind of, if anything, be better because the numbers would be more.
I mean, I'm quite happy to just run in and get killed and run back to spawn and run in and get
Yeah,
killed,
exactly,
pretty
yeah.
much.
I'm just worried about like you hear these awful horror stories. Like,
Oh god.
was it you or Jack told me that someone like lost like 4 of their front teeth? They got like kicked in the face.
I'm pretty sure that's a horror story and not true.
Yeah, I don't think the worst thing
I
I've
was like, oh my god,
worst
that
thing
would
I've
be me.
the worst thing I've seen is someone twisted their ankle. That's the worst thing I've seen.
Oh no, Tom pulled a tendon.
Oh yeah, you both did.
Yeah, but that didn't bother to me after LARP.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
didn't notice
cool.
until Monday.
The adrenaline wore off.
So
One thing I will quickly say about
yeah.
the EMU, they do set off early, so be prepared to get to your EMU at 9 and set off then.
again, the Facebook page usually will tell you
Yeah.
what the crack is there, but because you want to, I think the idea is you're kind of on the battlefield before the players start going towards the
God,
battlefield.
yeah, because we were really confused, weren't we, Kerry?
Yeah.
Because you two set off so early, and I don't think we waved you off, but we were constantly like, "Is it done yet?"
Yeah, they've been
Has it
gone for like an
started?
hour, but
Yeah, we spent ages just
and then there were still people, because I remember us thinking, oh, it must be nearly finished now. And we went past the Sentinel gate and everyone was queuing up to go in.
Yeah.
And we were like, what?
We did a lot of waiting around.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked just because it was dry.
Yeah.
I liked chilling in the woods, and we got a bit out of character interaction with the people with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good just to have a kind of
Chat.
chat and get to know the person and not the
And
character.
at that time of day, it's not too hot yet either, because it's quite early in the morning, isn't it? Like, well, not early in the
Well,
morning,
it
but
was
it's still the
It was
morning.
a weird day, wasn't it? Sunday. It couldn't make
Yeah.
its mind up.
It's
It was
half rain.
It was
half
quite.
sunny.
It rained a bit
Yeah.
whilst we were fighting. I really like that. It was
Yeah.
really
Like-
cool.
I was like, oh. Anyway, so Morgan, what was your emu experience? What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. It was, like you said, it was good to get some out of character stuff. So the idea is that you gather at like a central point, move through to the out of character area and start going towards battlefield from like the back entrance. And there's like a board which gives you all your rules.
I think the boards are really handy.
So it's like based on your weapon, what you're carrying, and what you're wearing. This is the kind of thing you'll play. So I had the ability to do unstoppable a few times. I think that was it. And then I had 8 hits and all this. It was really good fun. And then we all sat around chatting. I was chatting to Jeffrey, who is in Dawn, and we were talking about some of the LARPs he's been to. Bit off topic, but he was telling me of some horrible one with these weird zombies which have got all maggots coming out of them.
Horrible as in grim, or horrible as just not good?
No, grim.
Oh,
Because
okay.
what they did was the prosthetics was jam. They put on their face and then put Rice Krispies in them.
Oh, great.
And they also had bags of
It's
dried
like a
rice.
day at the nursery.
They had bags of dried rice in their hands, and they'd throw them at you, so you'd get maggots all over you.
Pocket sand.
And then every now and again, he'd pull off they'd pull off Rice Krispies and eat them. So and I was just like,
I mean, even knowing that that's Rice Krispies in jam,
yeah,
it's just disgusting.
It's gross. It's just a walk in it, and I was like, it was just really cool to hear different LARPs. So that this guy had
Yeah,
done.
I would like to try something different. The pirate
Yeah.
one sounds
But
good.
not that.
No, not that one. Definitely not that one.
He was telling me some really cool stories, but it was nice to have a little chat with everyone. And then we made our way into the woods, and that was basically we had spoke to one of the head skirmish team, and he was just kind of like, right, no executing, no looting, this, that, and the other. And then kind of gave us the rules, and then our skirmish round told us the plan, who to stick to, we had a banner that we all had to rally to and stuff. And we saw each other at
Yeah,
Lusty, didn't we?
you were like, hi, Tom's like, who said that? Oh, hi, Morgan, how you doing?
It was really funny. We were getting
As
really...
if you recognised him in that mask.
Oh,
We
no,
weren't wearing masks,
are
though.
up.
Oh, yeah.
But to be fair, mine was perched on the top of my
Yeah.
head, flopping around like a chicken.
And then I guess it was similar for you, right?
Exactly the same,
Floppy
except
chicken.
rather than talking about LARPs, we were talking about Warhammer.
Oh.
'Cause
you
we're-
nerd.
I know.
What a
How
nerd.
dare you not spend all your money on LARP kit and instead spend on little plastic figures?
Actually.
Actually.
Plastic crack.
Oh yeah, we also had little plastic jabs. One of my people in the unit was showing me how to use a halberd properly
Oh,
and giving me
nice.
some hints and tips. I think the time in before that is just really good and handy.
We just had a little chill. The guy who was leading our emu said, "You can practice fight if you want, but I'm
Yeah,
I'm
most
too
of us
tired."
just chill.
To be fair, it is sad that there's not a lot of woods, foresty sort of space for you to just
Oh, this
mooch
was all
about in.
forest.
No, I mean for me and Emma who don't play it.
Oh,
So
'Cause
you've got to go to the VAR.
Yeah, but then it's mostly you're on the path and on the camps. You don't really want to just wander off into the trees.
It's a shame that
what do you
berry picking is a euphemism and not a reality.
Yes,
Like,
can't we just actually go
Can't
berry
me and
picking?
Carrie just go berry picking.
I like to call it maneuvers. I like to this
Manoeuvres.
professional
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounding.
manoeuvres does sound better.
Because you can say, "Oh well, we were pretending to be the Jotun, and we were fighting people who were pretending to be this." So
Yeah.
it was quite. You can talk loosely through the
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah, whereas you can just be like, my berry squished your berry.
So, for those who don't know, the difference between EMU and random cannon fodder orcs is...
Can I be a random cannon fodder orc? That
Oh,
sounds
they're
like
not
fun.
actually orcs, are they? They're ex-marchers.
Yagara.
Yagara.
The marchers that marched, true marchers.
Yes, the difference is, as the elite monster units, we get set objectives. So we have a goal, we want to punch certain areas, rather than just running, going, ah!
Well, but they kind of because we were told, let the Yagara die, and then you kind of come in.
That's
behind
pretty
them.
much what
Yeah.
we got told as well.
But don't the Yagara come back as reinforcements?
But for the orcs, it's very much like send the squishy Yagara first, and we'll punch in behind them, kind of thing.
I'll be a Yagara. That sounds fun.
You have to wear a mask then.
I don't have
If you want to wear a mask, you have to be like an orc, but the Yagara don't wear masks.
Okay.
If you were a Druge, I guess you'd still be wearing a mask.
I'll just have to figure out what the costume is for that.
Yeah,
Because it won't be the same as the freeborn costume.
No, it won't be.
Were you deployed before us then?
No, we were like one of the last ones to go out.
We were one of the last ones
Which
too.
meant we had a bit of in-character orc chat. So we were the orcs of House the Orc, also known as the Dorks.
Nice.
And
Amazing.
we were having it was really
How
funny.
can they not think that you're not going to take the mic?
We didn't do it in front of people, but between each other, it's like we are of House the Orc.
From what I've heard, I think some battle group leaders like to have fun and like
And some
take
don't,
this, and some wanted to be, no, we are being deadly serious
Yeah.
here.
The other when we were there, I was sat next to your guy's friend, and the one that took you to your first event.
Yeah.
And we were chatting in character. He was talking about like how silly the Varushka were, and we were having a little natter. It was really funny, like in character stuff. We had our banner holder was just called Son.
Okay.
It's like Son, and they were like Dad, just like around the battlefield, which was funny to everyone. It was very funny.
Did
Are
your
you my dad?
Did your character have any personal motivations or stake in this?
No, not necessarily. I was just trying to be honourable.
You see,
all that jazz.
I was being Salt's bodyguard, so whoever Salt was playing, we decided to have role reversal.
Oh,
I'd
that's
be his
funny.
bodyguard. I'd kind of protect him. But my orc, since we were protecting these stones and stopping them from being dropped, I was pretending I've heard of this legendary soon-to-be emperor, someone who's going to change and reshape the empire, Dave. And I was pretending, you know what? These rocks are Dave's ancestors. I cannot let the imperial
my
scum
God.
hurt Dave's ancestors.
I really wish we had a picture of Dave. If anyone has a picture of Dave, send it in,
We
please.
would like to see the picture.
We will repost.
So I was hyping myself up. I will die for Dave's ancestors.
Fuck's sake. But yeah,
So I went silly.
So I want to be delicate here.
We fucking smashed it.
It was. I don't know what happened. I know that we were in the forest for a while, and then we came out, and all I saw was lots of brightly coloured people dead or dying.
Yes.
It was weird because even before we got onto the field, there was already fighting, and we came on pretty soon.
And the Yagara really fucking hit hard. Like, unintentionally. I spoke to some people who were like, we were told to just, like, harass them, to just kind of distract them briefly to keep them worried. But they charged at the Yagara, who were like, oh, sick. And then just, like, orcs came in and just smeared them.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
what I heard from when we were standing later in the military council, because we went to observe that because it was an interesting thing. We wanted to see the drama afterwards, and it was a dry place. That
lived for the drama of that.
other nations got a bit too excited, and there was a gap left about 30 metres or more between them and the Brass Coast.
Yeah, and the Brass Coast are infamously squishy.
So I think
there's not really much armour in the Brass Coast.
So from what I hear, Navarre was like, ooh, Brass Coast's on the menu, and kind of hack them down.
It was...
Yeah.
It was one of those where it was like there was a lot of really brutal moments. I love monstering. I really love it. If I don't understand why people don't do it, because you can just fight and not have to worry about your
love
own skin.
going into fight and not having to worry, will Nietzsche come back?
I enjoyed kind of running out and shouting for healers, kind of be like, "You heal me!" and standing there as I got healed. I just remember a lot of it seemed to concentrate on a lot of Winterfolk. We ended up fighting Winterfolk and Varushka.
We ended up fighting with, I think we've probably fought nearby.
We were
'cause
next to each other, but I
yeah.
couldn't get your attention.
I didn't see you at all.
Yeah, but we were... Oh, God. So we were kind of pushing this line up and forward. And I watched as this line became a triangle and we started to wrap round.
They held off initially pretty well, but they didn't push us back.
And then this like clump of Winterfolk and Varushka just slowly got enveloped. And you just had like, us on the outside, like basically a circle with a small gap at the back and everyone inside. And we were like, all right.
Donuts of death.
Donuts of
It
death.
was my first donut of death I've properly seen on the field, and my God, what a pleasure it was to not be in it.
It
Yeah.
was hot. And then I'm standing there, because I think you get your character, you're like, oh, kill him. And then they negotiated the retreat. They said, we're going to leave. Don't kill us. And then Jotun, being honourable, said, okay. And they left. And it was like...
It's already over.
It was over in like
half an hour.
Yeah, I remember.
Although we've been waiting ages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, switched back to us, we were like, oh, thank God, it's finally over.
Because we were waiting near the god tent where you all come out after.
Yeah.
And I just remember, as soon as she came out, it was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like...
We're like, how did it go? Not well.
I killed a
Great
lot
for us.
of players.
You see, because I was from Helbert and didn't get any calls, I didn't kill so much. I hit a lot of people, because I'm going to say, the Helbert's changed my game. I love... Even if I'm not killing people, I just love to be able to jab from wherever I am and
the
get some
reason it
hits
was
in.
so popular, historically.
I did say I did get quite a few slaps around the face quite heavily in my mask, but I don't really mind that. I know some people it bothers.
It annoys me when... I don't mind a hit, but it annoys me when you get smacked.
Oh, I got properly smacked.
But for me, and it's like you look and you don't get an apology, and you're like, come on.
You see, that would
Yeah, that would
annoy
annoy me.
me and put me off because I know what I'm like, and I'd probably just full on smack someone.
Yeah.
I'd be like, alright, well, I'm monstering and your character can actually die.
Yeah.
So...
So could you.
I just like get really angry.
I
did have a lot of fun bantering with some winter markers because I was like, got you in my tip. Got you again. Should really buy me dinner first. And I just kept jabbing this one poor man in the legs and then just went for his friend. Leg shots.
Stop
OP.
jabbing men with your tip.
Never.
I saw a guy, there was a guy I was fighting who had like a shield that covered his feet to his neck and then a spear on the other side and then just had a helmeted head and I just kept going, bop.
I will argue if you do that, the head is a legitimate strategy.
Oh, yeah. And he was also wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
So I was like, bop.
So he wasn't taking any hits?
No, he was taking hits.
Oh, so
He-
how
he-
does that work then?
It's
If
not
you've
as
got
many.
helmet on?
He
You
only
still take hits if you hit some armor.
you can't you take one hit at a time, only one hit
Oh.
point, but you can't do like a call
So-
like impale on the
So
head.
armor adds hit points to your character anyway.
Hence, helmets tend to do just decoration.
Yeah, a helmet has no mechanical purpose because they don't want to encourage you hitting the head if it's
Yeah.
there.
But in fact, having a helmet, it did encourage
For
you
me, I
to
was
hit his
like,
head.
bop. But literally, I just saw him go down. I was like, literally, I could just, he wasn't able to bop, bop. And then he went down. I was like, cool. And then,
What, so he died?
No.
he went down. Yeah.
What, he died?
Well,
No.
he bled out. I don't know if someone picked him back up again. But
He probably would have been taken to a medic.
Yeah.
Do
Surely.
you not feel like bad?
no, I do
He's a
afterwards,
monster.
You do afterwards.
One issue I found I have with the
character
orc
immersion.
mask.
Immersion.
I don't know if it is better in your bought mask because we just go on in the fields. I couldn't hear calls that were done on me
I guess I don't know if I missed any calls. but-
because apparently a weakness got called, but I couldn't hear that it was weakness. And he might have got me for a cleave.
Well, weakness only means you can't do hero points, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it was just like I couldn't hear it at the time, and I got cleaved as well. So I used a relentless, not
Gotcha,
hearing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Obviously,
okay.
I want to play the rules right because I don't want to cheat.
Oh
but
yeah, but then there's like, refereeing yourself, and then there's also just general mistakes. Like,
Yeah.
like as long as you're not taking the piss and cheating.
I generally have the attitude that if I do a call on someone and they ignore it, or if they haven't missed it, it's like, well, I haven't expended that point. kind
Yeah,
of thing.
no.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
well, okay, I haven't. Because even if they're like, oh, well, I used a relentless, it's like, well, if I can't tell that you're doing it, you haven't done it. Because that's one thing that bugs me. This is like one thing that gets me is people use like unstoppable or relentless. Like, I'm unstoppable and keep going. It's like you have to take
do the 5 seconds.
5 seconds to be like, because otherwise it's too OP.
Yeah.
You just might as well just have an extra 3 hits.
Yeah.
Because when I've had my leg cleaved, I'm like punching it for like
Yeah.
5 seconds to get going and then I'm off
But
again.
it adds immersion as well then.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to physically do something.
Like if I get cleaved on my legs and I know I have a relentless, I'll get down to one
yeah.
knee.
You don't have to, but yeah, because you could just instantly go, ah!
But it encourages me to take the time then
Yeah,
to do it.
and then you twist your ankle.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're wearing massive heavy
I kind
armor.
of think that was from the strike down and then having to just jump back up.
Yeah, probably.
Strike downs are dangerous, kids.
But there's not really much to say. Like,
about the battle.
It was
it was a
Bloodbath.
I literally it finished. I just looked around and went, fuck.
Yeah, I remember you
I
come
just
out and then...
Did you look round and go, what have I done?
Just looked at all the corpses.
You take off your orc mask, you turn it around so it's facing you.
Who have I become?
no, and then just turn the mask and go, look what you've done. How dare you?
think one of the best.
You should give him a name, Naughty Boris.
Yes, call him Boris the Orc.
I think one of my favourite moments. Now I don't know if they were bleeding out or dead, but we were just talking as the orcs, and there was a load of winter markers like buggering off without us. Like, yeah, they've left you.
That's rough. Oh, that's rough.
It was so bad.
I was like-
I wasn't even there, but just hearing about it afterwards.
Yeah, it's like we just heard about it, cringed, didn't we? We're like, oh,
Honestly,
no.
I didn't think that I would care, about the result. But literally, when I heard about how many freeborn were dead, I genuinely was just like, "Fuck, goddamn."
Also, I will admit, because of the general shambles and meat grinding that was going on the field, I didn't expect. I did stab a few Yagara on the way in, not recognising them who were
So
Imperials.
Who cares that you got?
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly.
Just you
He
guys.
was like, I'm on your side. Are you though?
Are you?
Though this is the thing, this is why we went to the military council, because there was a whole thing with the orcs, the imperial orcs, not taking part in the battle.
Yes, we should
And
talk about that.
that's- Yeah,
actually.
exactly. That's why we thought that it would be, drama to go to the military council.
I did make up for my sins. I helped them move some of the barricades back into the proper
Yeah.
position. Cause be good guy, help the refs.
Yeah, but no, we should definitely talk about the fact that. So the details I'm hazy on, but as far as I know, the Winterfolk have got a agreement with the Thule, which are northern magic using barbarians, that they are allowed to take thralls as slaves when they conquer lands, and the Imperial Orcs, ex-slaves, have gone, no, we don't like that, and we will not fight for the Empire whilst that's happening. So there's a massive protest outside of the Sentinel Gate, which I've seen pictures of. Look, they have placards
yeah,
and
I've seen
stuff.
some pictures of that.
There was a few orcs that went, no, we're going to fight for the Empire, which I think is really
My
interesting.
respect to them, because that's such good roleplay. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it was only 9,
I
maybe
don't
less.
know, but that was... It's
I
really cool.
really sad I missed the protest though, because I
Yeah, I
definitely
really-
would have joined that.
I would have loved that. I didn't know it was going on.
No, I didn't until
Though,
afterwards.
can I say,
It's
the
a real
military,
shame.
the military council handled it so professionally,
Oh.
because the question did come up while we were there, would the losses have been so bad with the orcs there?
I love the bickering.
To be fair, though,
Love it.
I was hoping for the full-on shouting. I was hoping for
No,
a
but
proper
they didn't.
drama.
They were less.
I was ready to be like,
Oof. They were more
Oh,
professional
dear.
than actual politicians. It was great.
yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked if
They
they
were just there,
less professional than
Exactly.
politicians.
They were just there oh yes, but then there was also strategies to account for and this and that, and they made some good points.
One Nation was like, we are tiptoeing around the fact that the Imperial Orcs weren't there. I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
now it's
yeah.
going to get juicy.
yeah, we're rubbing our hands
exactly.
together.
We're like, this is why we're here.
I love how you two, non-military characters at all, it's like, we're going to go to the military council
Sorry,
for the drama.
I was devastated by the loss of my freeborn brethren, even though I don't know very many other freeborn characters. But I know my character was very invested, and she was like, "Hang on, what are they going to say about this?" I don't.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously Wintermark were there.
Well,
so
yeah, exactly.
I was more like,
it was
no,
our
it sounds like
nations.
a lot of bad decisions
Exactly.
were made.
It was our nations who suffered from the battle, so we were invested in finding out why and what's going on with that.
So I distinctly remember...
Yeah, drama. Most of the drama.
Yeah, I distinctly remember when outside our tent I was getting changed back into Uncle Nietzsche gear, that there was a freeborn going around asking for charitable donations. She claimed out of the 48 freeborn that went on the field, 42 went down.
Is that where we got those numbers from? Because those numbers were grossly inaccurate.
Yeah, but at the time it's like, my God,
Well, to be fair,
42 freeborn.
They may have gone down,
Hang
but
on.
didn't all die.
Festival of the Broken Wheel?
Yes, but that's Saturday evening, isn't
Is it not the whole week?
I think it's just the Saturday
Oh,
night.
okay,
I could be
cool.
wrong on that one, to be fair.
But
But
yeah,
look at me again, making statements and being like, I don't know.
I thought
Not a certain bone in my body.
42 dead? That's what she made it sound like, but...
No. Well, she said that they went down. Yeah, I think. Though, yeah, I did initially think that almost all of the freeborn that were fighting had died, so I was very salty about that.
God, can you imagine?
And I remember walking to, I think it was military council. That would go to get a toasty, one or the other, and just hearing the marchers being yelled at. It was...
Yeah.
Why are the marches being?
What was it? It was either Marcher or Varushka, but I think for their performance and how they weren't acting as a team or together. Obviously, that's not our profession.
Oh, what,
but
by their general?
Yeah, but the mood around the Empire changed.
It was definitely very sour. Yeah.
It was interesting. So because we came off the field, we saw you guys, told you the bloodbath, and I was like, I wanted to do some bits, so I ran off and got changed very quickly. And you guys went to military council, right?
Yeah, basically. We didn't go straight there, but we did when it was on.
We went accidentally just to shelter from the rain, and it was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had a time. I enjoyed it, but bad times for the Empire.
Admittedly, I love winning both victories.
Oh yeah, okay. The fact that we won both days,
all right,
fucking
guys.
rules.
All right. And you know what? How smug you were when you came back definitely didn't rub salt in the wounds. But you know what? It did motivate me to want to fight, and I do kind of want to get armor and garters, Peter.
I think.
Though I would have to reskill because I can't just go with alchemy and no hero points or anything, can I?
You could.
You probably wouldn't
I'd
last
die.
long, but
If
Right?
you got yourself some scale mail armor from somewhere, which is freeborn,
Yeah.
got yourself a sword and a shield, a buckler.
What scale mail?
Have you seen the people wearing armor that looks like fish scales, like metal fish scales?
No.
I have,
Yeah, it's a thing.
I have
That's
seen a few
cool.
freeborn wearing armor like that. Yeah.
You hear them jingle.
Yeah.
Hang on. For everyone at home, I'm currently googling scale mail to show Emma.
no, but I think a lot of it was from we were thinking, you know what? They gave it to us on Saturday. As the Druge, they fought hard. They made us sweat. Let's make them sweat.
They didn't have
Yeah.
time to sweat. Fucking hell, like it.
I know I was sweating with all the
Yeah.
effort put in.
Oh, I do want to say just one thing. Okay, again, I don't want to sound like we're taking like it was an intense fight. I think just decisions were made and things went wrong. We'll learn and
happens.
move on. But I think one of my favourite moments was when it was before we got to the donut and we were like the Jotun line was pushing forward. There was pockets of Winterfolk and Varushka. It was raining and the Jotun were going as we
that was
marched
so
forward.
good.
And, it
that
was
does
and
sound-
everyone was like they were falling and fleeing as the Jotun pushed forward. And I was like, yes!
That does sound epic.
Oh, it was so
When
good.
when people say Jotun are easy mode,
Yeah, absolutely. But also, like, I remember fighting the Jotun, and the Jotun line coming towards you going, You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
I'm still more scared of the Druge than the Jotun.
Oh,
Venom
yeah.
just terrifies me.
Oh yeah, the Druze are actually scary. The Jotun are like, they're all scary. They're all terrifying individuals.
I thought the Jotun were more reasonable,
Honourable, yeah.
but also more like
we negotiated and the Empire left the field. So
yeah.
The way I see it, Jotun remind me of kind of Uruk-hai. Still not great, but a bit more honourable than Mordor orcs that are like the Druge with the poison barbs and the
more
firing
likely
his
to say,
heads
"What
and
about
cattle."
eggs? They don't need them.
I'm gonna put a maggot hole in your belly.
Just one maggot.
Just one.
Just one Rice Krispie.
But yeah, and then we came off the field, got changed, and then I went off to do some diplomacy stuff.
I think I had a very chill time. I think just like, right, adrenaline's done. Got a couple of hours left. I don't have any pressing plot now. Mr. Salt had to go and pack up his stuff because he was camping OC and I think he had to get a bus. So a lot of me was just winding down. I said goodbye to my friends at the Boar's Head. Yeah, we went to say goodbye to Racist Dad and our favourite Inkimp at the Boar's Head because we had a lot of fun there. When we did see the Orc camp though, it was being protected by a shield wall of winter markers.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Because we think
Why?
This was just before the military council, I think. actually,
Racist
wasn't
Dad was claiming, it's like, yeah, spread some good ideas, and they're a bit worried because of the battle today
Oh,
that
shit.
things are going to kick off.
Oh my god.
So, like, there was, 4 or 5 heavily armed
Big on the
winter
Winterfolk
markers.
to do that. I suppose they were responsible for the whole situation, but it's good that they
Maybe it was like a split. Maybe they got bollocked by their other Winterfolk when they went there. This is the great thing about Empire, the drama that comes up.
I live for the drama.
Live for the drama.
But yeah, it was great. After that fucking ridiculousness, I got off all my kit, got my normal stuff on, and again I was meeting with Lady Lordine because I was continuing to shadow her because I was like, again, the politics religion side of things.
Was Sunday the day where I managed to find something out
Yes, it was.
that was relevant to her?
So we went round already. We were doing. I don't want to talk too much about that.
No.
But yeah, that was the day you did that.
Can I just? Am I able to say that when I went to the Artisans Guild, there was an item that came up that was that sounded very interesting, and I was sort of mentioning it to sort of the relevant people saying, "Oh, you know, I don't know if this information's any use to you." And I think, I don't know how Lady Lodine. I think Lady Lodine ended up, or did you overhear me saying about it? And you're
We were
like,
there.
should
We were there at the same time. We talked about
interested in
things.
that, yeah. So I took her over to the Artisans Guild just to get full information on that, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
So yeah, after all that, I went over to do kind of some diplomacy stuff with Lady Lordine, took my kit off, my monstering kit, and then put on. This time I wasn't just wandering around in a shirt and trousers. I actually put my tunic on and put some effort.
Well, you're going to see ambassador.
Ambassador, absolutely. Went to see the ambassador to Yarm and overheard lots of important conversations, which I don't really understand the meat of.
How was it? I hear he's the second most attractive man in Anvil.
He's a very dashing man. It was
Where
really
is
cool.
Nietzsche on that list?
Nietzsche's right down
No,
near the
Nietzsche's
bottom.
off the scale. But yeah,
That's because he stole the scale.
but yeah, no, that was a really cool moment. Again, it was fun to see the kind of like different side of the game, the politics that they're trying to negotiate. And then we moved on from there to look at loads of synod judgments, which is again is interesting. You kind of see the things that people are trying to get through to inspire the spirit of the people of the Empire. And then I found out some history about Dawn because there was some stuff to find out in the library. Spoke to another ambassador.
History?
Yeah, deep lore. We've spoken about this before, but it's like off wiki history.
I was going to say, yeah, because you said you did a whole podcast episode about the history of Dawn, and then you mentioned that you went and you found out that was just
The fucking tip of the iceberg.
the bite-sized, the
Literally.
GCSE bite-sized version.
People were saying stuff and I was like, yeah, no, basically. I was like, oh, so what? It's crazy. And
I feel like this needs to be a drinking game. Whenever our podcast says just the tip,
Just
everyone takes a drink.
Oh my gosh, yes, let's do a
Everyone would
podcast
die.
drinking episode.
But yeah, so spoke to another ambassador to the Sarkovan Delves, I think.
An ambassador to Christ. Oh my gosh.
Heresy.
Ambassador to Sarkovan Delves, who have this. It's like another foreign nation which have like a weird version of the way. So like they believe that you pass through the labyrinth if you have fuck tons of money, and if you have enough money, you get to go to the afterlife with all your money.
Is it called Planet Earth?
It's capitalist religion. That's what it is.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh God, we're losing viewers. We're going political.
Religious?
And then we went to... That was it, basically. And then the rest of the Sunday was wind down, having a chill.
I was very...
Sheltering from the rain,
Sheltering
in
from
the
the
military
rain,
tent.
yeah.
I was very
Praying that our
happy.
tents would dry before we had to pack them away.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was very happy that at military council someone approached me and says, "Uncle Nietzsche, I would like to join the Jolly Jackdaws." And I like to think that the clouds parted at this point and a ray of sunshine shined down upon him. And I was like, "You have been chosen, my son."
Heroes welcome, we'll be waiting for you.
Between each other, we shall scan the empire out of rings and minorly inconvenienced nobles.
Oh, dear.
I love it.
I can't wait for the Jackdaws to become...
I am very excited every time
Fairies
someone
Guild.
joins the Jackdaws.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
I think we're up to 5 now?
You need to drunkenly get people to join. When people are drunk...
I mean, yeah, that was our main strategy so far.
Get people plastic, get them to join.
Well, I'm toying about having a limit at the start, seeing how
Yeah,
well we
you
can
don't want it
actually
to be
do,
too
rather
big.
than, oh shit, it's E2 next year. I've got 50 members. I have no idea what I'm
No.
doing.
To be fair,
Crusade!
I think less than 10 would be good. You want to be able to know all of your members well and have like, you know, some good role play between everyone and not just have like a mass of people that you don't know.
Yeah.
That's the plan. So
Yeah.
we're maybe having a cap at 10, but if someone really impresses us, they're like, yeah, we can make room in the Jolly
Yeah.
Jackdaws for you.
Or
That
like,
sounds good.
I'm sad and lonely and I don't know anybody.
Why do I feel like the Jolly Jackdaws is going to become the fraternity of the league?
Frat boys.
Sesh. But we're competing with Le Pachon to being the Fresh Boys of
God.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a frat war. They're going to
To be
prank
fair,
each other.
we got a coalition with Le Pachon, so maybe a party coalition.
No, I think you should have a frat war and prank each other.
We
I
need
think-
to find when the Marchers pub crawl's happening and have the leaguish pub crawl in the reverse direction.
No, in the same direction, but like... I don't know, like one step ahead or one step behind and tell them not to say anything to the marchers or something, just like fuck with their pub crawl.
I think the
Aw,
door.
that would be hard.
I do love the Marchers.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do. So say one of my favourite moments from the Saturday night was when we were drinking at the Star Bar and the marchers came over and I was just like, sing us a song, marchers! And they did. It was great.
I also said, do you want to help me fuck with Dawn in the future? And they all turned around, yes, we do.
Absolutely.
So, did either of you, Emma or Kerry, do anything else for the rest of the session?
Yeah, I went to an auction. The aforementioned auction that our friend told us about. I was very excited to go to an auction and possibly get some cheap herbs because, as I say, an apothecary. But it was also the first thing that I've properly done by myself, so it was a bit scary, but also I'm quite proud that I took that step to go and do a bit of solo roleplay finally on the last day of my second event.
No, it's good though. It's
Proud of
rough.
you. It's a big step.
It is hard.
Yeah, so I didn't end up buying anything. The first lot was about 20 True Veins. No, it was 20 maybe Imperial Rose Wield, but either way, it sold for several crowns. Maybe a throne or more, actually, I can't remember. Either way, it was well out of my price range.
Bronte sounded
and I
like
couldn't
she
afford
agreed.
Bronte
yeah.
disapproved of the price there.
And exactly, the podcast dog. And then the rest of it was more artisan materials, and I was just thinking,
Mm.
if only Esty were here, then maybe she could get some. But you couldn't find it, could you? Because you went with me at that point.
No, so I'm terrible with directions and there's just tents everywhere that all look very similar. There's like the odd one that's quite distinctive, but yeah, I couldn't find it. I went for a little look for it.
That's fair. I just knew that it was in the league, and we were camped in the league,
Yeah.
and there's that one main row, so I just went up and down that, and then I saw the person who told us about it, so I just loitered around there, and I was like, oh, there is a sign, oh yes.
Yeah,
I was quite lucky to find
be
it.
fair, I probably wouldn't have been able to buy anything anyway because
it was very expensive.
Well, I'd saved a lot of my resources to make things, so I hadn't sold them and made money.
You hadn't liquidated your assets.
Yeah.
You hadn't.
Oh yeah, this time next year you'll be loaded. It's fine.
I'll be balling.
Have a decent
You're
curry.
investing.
That always liquidates my assets.
Oh, shut up. If you sell that thing you're making, though, you'll make bank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was just funny that because you mentioned what I was planning to make to someone, and they literally
Frothed at the
I
mouth.
thought they were gonna cry with joy.
But they don't want it for a while.
I
So.
know. I was like,
Well, yeah, because people have got to have the money to pay for it.
But also,
I
he needs to have.
suppose.
They
It's
do
like
have the
it's about the level he needs to be for it to be useful to him.
Fair.
right. Yeah.
It's like I want to make a sovereign specific, but I'm worried that I will struggle
Yeah.
to sell it because it's
I think
very
sovereign
expensive.
specifics will sell very quickly. There's such a
With
good
the amount
potion.
of people that I'm comfortable talking to.
Yeah, I reckon it'll sell. A throne for a sovereign specific. You're saving them the walking time. Maybe sell them for a couple of rings or 5 rings more. Something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
was going to say throne is basically selling it at cost, I think.
I mean,
Depending
what
on
you
the
could
prices of
do,
herbs.
if you don't want to approach anybody, is just get a little blackboard and put it outside your tent saying selling sovereign specific. I'll be here at this time.
That's fair. I am Lupita's wandering
Yeah.
potion emporium. So what I need to do is wander around with my potion stall and hope that someone's asking. Because to be fair, there was a bit of interest, but people were mostly asking what I was selling, and I was selling very basic things, so a lot of people weren't very interested. But what I should do probably is take my notebook with me and ask them, well, what are you interested in for future reference? And also maybe do a deal where if you bring me the herbs, I'll make the potion for prosperity.
I think
Prices.
that's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah. So
Because
I
I
think
like making the potions. It's fun. It's fun roleplay. I suppose another way for me to make money with my potions, coming back to the whole auction thing, is when I was there, I noticed that they were also, you could take things to sell at the auction and they would take a commission. So perhaps that's something else I could do in the future. Yeah.
It's all this money game is mysterious to me. I just like to see it happen. I can't wait to become a noble so I don't have to care about it anymore and just be like, Seneschal, here's my money, give me pocket money.
I don't know. I mean, as a very, modestly living person in the real world, I would quite like to have plenty of prosperity in Anvil. Even if I am spending a lot of money, I would like to be able to be making lots of money
Oh,
too.
yeah, of
'cause
course.
Not quite as easy in the real world, unfortunately.
Have you heard about the Jolly Jackdaws' new services? We're hiring out seneschals, properly trained, if you'd like to hire one.
Who are?
The Jolly Jackdaws.
No, I was like, ooh, this is... Oh, no, never mind. It's a con. There's a noble house in Dawn whose earl was a liegeman.
Ooh.
And in character, he came to Dawn and said, I would like to make a Dawnish house, and spoke to the egregores. So there is a leaguer who is a Dornish Earl.
Who is that then?
That's weird.
I don't know. I haven't got permission to talk about the house on the podcast.
That's fair.
But yeah, which I think is really cool.
That I really like.
They are hiring a seneschal. But
So was there anything else you did with your Sunday, Esty?
I looked after myself.
That's very important.
I was thinking, what on earth did I do? And I came to the conclusion that I had a lie-in.
you do
Yeah.
what we should all do.
When
Some self-care.
you came round to see me, and we spent a great deal of time just sat in my tent because I wasn't ready.
Oh yeah, and we just had go ahead some water because you had like bottled water from the shop, or you had a little
Yeah.
box of it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, actual fresh water. It's nice.
Can I just say, boxes of water are the way forward because they do actually keep cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
cold.
don't know how it works,
That's
but I
'cause
would
it's
really
shaded.
recommend it. Yeah.
We bought like a
Yeah.
big, it was like a box of
There's-
wine, except
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a sort of tinfoilish.
I wasn't. I opened it up.
Yeah.
It's literally just a plastic
Ah,
bladder
really?
and a cardboard cover.
Yeah, I suppose
must
the
be a shade
cardboard,
then.
like you say, just shades it.
Yeah.
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 But-
Future.
Not gonna lie, the water from the tap, straight from the taps at Anvil is a bit hard.
They're not very, yeah,
It's
very
it's
nice,
not
is
the.
it?
It's not good northern water, is it?
I don't know. I think it's a
Don't
bit
know
too
what's
northern
in that
that water.
southern water.
Sorry, I think it's that. It's all.
Yeah,
You also get some taps which are like,
Countryside water.
oh my god, it's a perfect stream. It goes straight into the water skin, and the other just anywhere but in your water
Yeah,
skin.
absolutely.
I remember there was one when the tap was turned to the side and you're trying to aim it, and I'm like, Tom, you can turn the tap back round.
I think I've done that before.
Yeah.
It's like half asleep trying to...
Exactly. I do think the first thing I did on a Sunday was go for a coffee, though, at the out of character area. Those iced lattes were to die for,
They are really good, and I was
especially in the heat.
I was strange and was like, "Can I have some honey in mine?" I was like, "It's not on the menu, but I just thought
Do you
I'd
have
I'm
honey?
just here being awkward." But they were fine with it.
Yeah,
and
they were
it was
lovely.
Nice. It didn't like, to be honest, didn't really mind whether it tasted of it or not. I just needed that like sugar.
Yeah.
Like I spend a lot of time just trying to find stuff to keep me going.
And I was just glad they had good dairy-free options as well, because I don't know if we've spoken about dietary requirements at LARP, but you know,
It was a bit few and far between on E1, wasn't it? Because
Yeah,
they
well,
sold
there
out quickly.
yeah, there was enough though. There's always stuff
Yeah.
in the
Moorish.
Moorish
Yeah.
cafe. They've always got meat-free options there, and then there's always like that. There was both times we've been. There's that one food truck that does some really nice. What is it? Sort of Indian style
curry,
food.
something,
Yeah.
I will argue Toasty Truck is MVP.
Well, Toasty Truck doesn't do dairy-free cheese or anything else that I can eat.
Oh, that's
so
fair enough.
I would
But,
agree with
yeah,
you if they
I
had one
agree.
option for me. I would probably love it because they
It's
were the
still
cheapest as well. I think.
I like it. They're nice people as well. It's called the Jabberwocky, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is like
Yeah.
from Alice in Wonderland.
But yeah, I think the last thing of my weekend in character was walking back to sadly find Magpie had died.
Yeah.
He won't say why,
Or how? And also, it's not our liberty to discuss out of character, surely.
but in my personal headcanon, he got killed by Robo Kicker Bale for opening the red zone.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Dread Robo Kicker Bale.
Because that definitely wasn't just farming machinery. That was the
Pleasure
natural-
and death.
Pleasure and death.
So good, it'll kill you.
The
Yeah,
ultimate
but,
king.
The guy who played Magpie, such a lovely chap, actually said, I won't be needing these anymore. Would you like them? And gave me 4 plastic magpies.
that
Since
go
he
on the
knew we
tent.
were going to be the jackdaws, to paint up as jackdaws,
Have
which
you
was
spray
so
painted
lovely.
with them, yeah?
Not yet. That is going to be like me, last minute before he...
That's literally going to be
E4.
the Friday morning while you're meant to be packing, isn't it?
Yeah, you want me to paint them crap, but me liking to paint Warhammer's like, but I want to paint them
Yeah.
kind of good.
Just-
The
You're just gonna spray
perfectionist
them.
in you wants to make
Paint them and then
perfect.
kind of dry brush over them to lay up the black. He kept one for personal memories since
Oh,
Magpie was
yeah,
such a big
sentimental
character.
I
value.
wonder who will be next, because he did say he was coming back, but he didn't know what nation he was going to be or anything, did he?
No, but he's been such a big character in the league. It'd be weird for him, I imagine, if he kept in the league.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, he is a lovely man. We met him at E1, didn't we? On Thursday night. at the
Oh
tavern.
yeah,
It was
when
the
we
first
were
time we met
doing
him.
the... oh no, sorry. I was thinking at E3 when we were at the tavern and we were doing the
No.
alphabet game and he was bullshitting us. That was fun too, though.
Big shout out to you, Magpie. You made a
Yeah.
great impression at the event.
Raise a toast to Magpie.
Pour one out for
Magpie,
one's
everybody.
homie.
cheers.
There we go. That was for you, Magpie.
Well, on that note, I think that's The end of Sunday.
Other than taking down tents and like, it was a weird day because it didn't rain at all weekend. Until Sunday.
Or Saturday night.
Showers on, showers off. Showers on, showers off.
Really
and you're just like,
literally-
please God, please let this tent dry out before we need to work out how in our like 2-bedroom
I was
apartment.
literally periodically fondling the tent to see if it was dry yet.
The thing I need to do,
Massage.
which I say to at another event, is pack up on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Because it takes me so long to pack up because everyone's walking past. You're saying bye to people. Oh, thanks for a great
I
event.
thought we managed to do it.
We did,
Quite a
but
good
Yeah,
time.
we were all home by
it's
what, 8
post-
o'clock? 9 o'clock?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
post battle. I'm a bit. It's like I'd like to have it all packed up. So then when the
Yeah,
time
it's
out
true.
ends,
Or at
I
least
can
the
just load
inside
it in.
stuff.
Yeah. I mean the inside my tent. So literally, I
Yeah.
can pull the van up, throw it in,
Yeah.
put the tent down, and shut that. In.
Yeah, I kind of
Was
packed in the morning beforehand. We
Yeah,
still
that
brain.
makes sense.
Big brain.
If you're
I was a lot more-
monstering and you're exhausted,
Yeah.
it's like,
I was a lot more on it with the packing up the first time we went, but that was because we had to get to the train and we had to get to the
Yeah.
shuttle bus. But then it was so much nicer to not have to worry about how we were getting
we
home
didn't
because
do
we
it.
almost had to stop over in Manchester overnight on the first time we were there. We almost missed the shuttle bus.
So that rounds up our first proper Empire discussions.
Oh yeah.
So I must ask, what was one highlight of everyone's E3?
What a fucking
gosh.
question. I suggest that everyone listens to the last 4 episodes of the podcast.
Listen to the froth.
I think for me it was, I felt like I had moments, I had some really fun like people recognizing me moment because now I've been there a bit. It's like, oh, you've got more people you know. I think it was someone asking to be my troubadour and having moments like that. I think someone asking to be my troubadour was like the peak because I was like, yes. It was like really nice, really fun, and yeah, just that kind of thing of knowing people this time when I went. Should go quite
Yeah,
well.
but it's really nice when you recognise people.
Yeah, and you're like, hello, how you doing? How you been? And that in
Even
character
if you
chat.
don't remember anyone's name.
So many people I know nothing about their normal life.
Oh,
Haven't
yeah.
a clue. I know their out character names and I've had a bit of a chat, but
I
most
don't
of
even
them-
know all the out of character names.
No, it's crazy. But yeah, what about you?
I don't know. There's kind of a few
Standouts.
snippets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I really enjoyed the Artisans Guild. I like that because I like the structure. Like
Yeah.
I know when I go, I know what I'm getting, and I don't have to worry about anything.
I get that. Yeah.
And then meeting the Lady in the Marches who I did the dog breeds for. That was really good because it's just nice to chat to someone.
It's nice to have
Kind
a
of-
goal as well.
Yeah, but it was also great to kind of chat semi in character, out of character about dogs.
Yeah.
It's like we both love dogs. It was kind of like quite a comfortable.
Yeah, it's a comfortable
Chat.
role play because it's
Yeah.
something that you're familiar with anyway, but it's in
Yeah.
that sort of setting, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a good.
Like, rather than all the politics and religion, there's all these
yeah,
words and like.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a gentle introduction to role playing, I guess.
Absolutely.
Probably taking the mick out of Earl Talabrin, if I'm allowed to mention him.
Yeah.
That was fun on Saturday night. And trying to get him to marry an orc. That was hilarious. And then
You go through your whole weekend.
no,
It was all good.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Kerry's chalky milk.
That was gonna be mine.
Yeah, sorry. It made such a big impression on me. I didn't even have any of it. It was just really exciting.
I will buy you one next time you're there, honestly.
Thank you.
For me, I'm stuck between one that's out of character and a couple that are in character.
Just say them all. That's
So
what Esty did.
Just go for it.
So my out of character one must have been buying the halberd because Kerry says you've come back to the
Yeah.
camp with a massive grin on your face, and yeah, I love halberd. It's changed my life. It makes home living so much easier.
Well, it's that
when
picture.
Kerry's ranting at me at home, I can speak halberd, stay back.
It's all in that picture that we just found of you on the photo forum where you're holding your halberd and you've never looked
Such a
happier in
good
your life.
photo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
I fucking love the halberd. I think it's my main weapon of choice.
Oh, it's so good.
Uh,
It's such a good photo.
And I think in character, I know it doesn't narrow down to one moment, but having Mr. Salt there as a bodyguard
Oh,
really
yeah.
changed the game for me.
I like that. You're
I
level
like-
2 now.
I liked having someone to bounce off and like him being oh sir, proper man of few words.
Yes,
I'm
sir,
gonna
no,
protect
sir,
this
3 bags
idiot,
full, sir.
and then me idioting up, being the most offensive,
Like Blackadder.
confused, almost like a World War One inept general type of thing,
It was
mixed
very
with a
funny.
con man. I'm looking forward to my accountant Reiner, my left-hand man, being there next time. So we'll have like the 3 founding members of the Jackdaws and hopefully a couple more, and we're just going to expand.
I
and-
loved seeing your posters around as well.
Oh,
We only
yes.
got a couple out, but I think next
I
time.
saw
at Dash
them.
Shop. So Dash Shop had one up. And then-
The Jackdaw. No, sorry. The
League more.
notice board. I saw it.
I think next time I'm going to put an effort to get them more around the Empire.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they have this, but if there's like a stack of papers they go through at Senate, you should absolutely pick it up, put one in, close it. Do we have any priests?
I'm yet to have any priests.
Get a priest to submit a Senate motion about how fucking sick the Jackdaws are. Like,
Ah,
Is that going to be how we phrase it as well?
the Jackdaws are fucking something like the Empire needs great deeds from small people, and your great uncle Nietzsche is the one to lead you. Join the Jolly Jackdaws today.
the problem is,
sick.
people will probably be able to tell now. I've just finished watching Better Call Saul. Its completion is going to gradually become more like Saul Goodman. Do you need mercenaries? Because we got you covered.
Was there any more in character moments that you liked?
I think I'm going to not hog the podcast and leave it there, because if not, I'm just going to froth about the whole event again.
Yeah, I'm going to generally chunk together like, about an hour's worth of Saturday evening, where not only did you have the chocolate milk drink, which was it was like they had dairy-free chocolate milk, coffee, and I think vodka was mixed into it as well. It was a beautiful little cocktail. And not only did I have that, but I also managed to, whilst we were sat drinking that, sell a potion and sell some herbs to a lovely bard that I met, which hopefully I will be able to reconnect with her at the next event and bring my ukulele out. You know, I'm going to find her, or I'm going to find a bard, I'm going to bring my ukulele, I'm just going to insist on, like, shall we just have a jam session here and there? Because there was about 3 different bards that I met there, and I kept saying, yeah, tomorrow at some point, I'll find you, or you find me, and I'll get my ukulele out, and I just never did. So I'm going to have to carry around my ukulele a bit at the next session.
Next event.
I'm going to have to try and actually play some music because I keep bringing instruments and not playing them. Because anxiety. But I will try.
You just need to find a fire and just start strumming.
Yeah. Well, actually, I asked the bard that I was speaking to at that specific point.
When you said you need to find a fire, I thought you just said like you need to find a fire and just set yourself.
I don't know if anyone got that.
Why would you set
I just need to
yourself
set
on
myself
fire?
on fire.
Because
I mean, my music's good, but it's not that
I
good.
think you should just jump in a fire.
Right, okay. And then I could drink your chalky milk.
Mary was talking about anxiety and you just
I think you should
find a
just burn
fire.
yourself, find your instruments.
Yeah.
And
To
then,
find a fire and jump in
No,
it.
the bard who I sold the herbs to, I was asking her about how did you get, because she'd been sort of singing and things in a various places, and she was new to Anvil as well, I think, or fairly new to Anvil. And I was like, well, how did you get going with this? And she goes, there's some certain, like, she told me, like, that part at the corner near where Moorish is, that sort of intersection. She said that's a good place to settle down because then people don't have to listen to you, but they might catch you as they're walking past, and if they want to listen to you, they can stop. Because the worst thing, or the scariest thing about playing an instrument or singing songs or whatever, is you don't want people to be like, oh, just shut up. You know what I mean?
You
So
don't
if
feel
you're
like bothering someone.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you want people who want to listen to feel like they're welcome to, but you don't want people to feel like they have to listen to you because you're invading their space. And that was a really good tip. So maybe I'll just settle down there with my ukulele at some point and try. Do you think it would be appropriate for me to play Moby Duck? Because I'm learning that one.
oh, absolutely.
I love Moby
I
Duck.
honestly think though, an unobtrusive like little instrument, maybe
Yeah.
with like really quiet singing, doesn't matter what the song is, who's singing,
Just
everyone
the ambience.
just
Yeah.
because for example, if you sat at Loomies,
Yeah.
pulled out your thing and just started strumming, it would just be like.
Like, realistically, I know that, but there's that tiny voice in my head.
I understand, but you just have to think if it's not obtrusive, it's just nice and gentle.
Yeah.
It's fine, and also
I
people can
think
leave.
at the very least, I can just play my ukulele and
Yeah.
not sing, and then
Yeah.
until I'm more comfortable, and then I can start singing.
100%.
Because it's also about learning songs that are appropriate for the setting.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many of them that I know. Yeah, they're quite long.
Well, I just want to say, we're all finished talking about what we enjoyed. Thank you to everyone who attends Empire.
Yes.
It was a fantastic event. You all make it so special. I loved. We've spoke about some minor gripes, but overall,
Very
once
good
again,
event.
Best. Empire continues to be the best thing I've ever done. So
Yeah.
thank you, and also you guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Just to round it off, I want to bring in our first TARP fact. Did you know that TARP rhymes with harp? Thank you for
Wow.
listening. Top facts.
I thought we were doing a long-awaited TARP episode at some point. but-
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
That's
don't give away all the facts
Full
now.
If we hit 100 subscribers, we will have Top episode.
Yes, that is our goal. If we get 100 subscribers, we will have a TARP episode.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, subscribe, follow, all our socials. We do have a Patreon. I don't expect anyone to contribute to it, but I was told it's a sensible thing to set up. So
Yeah.
if you feel like buying us a coffee and helping us keep the lights on, that would be great.
Energy prices are going up this year.
Yeah,
Nietzsche
exactly.
needs to keep himself warm.
However, do look after yourself, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and just keep an ear out because over the long dark we have a few other projects that we plan on starting. Nothing concrete yet, but a few things we want to do. If you have any ideas or suggestions, we'd love to hear them.
Winter Feast is already in the works.
Oh, we've got
isn't
our
it?
own little player event, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah,
think
a non-sanctioned player
No,
event.
Yeah, it's literally just us.
a Labs and
sat in our
Tops player
house.
event.
We've got 7 of us just coming to yours
Yeah,
for a little
absolutely.
feast.
But yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again. Well, hopefully, we'll see you at Empire.